All right, it might be the best time of the year. Time to build your own 49ers roster. So here we go. I'm not going to even bother being on camera because we need the spreadsheet to take up the full screen. It's going to be on The Athletic. Sub to The Athletic to build your own 49ers roster. And once you get to this piece, and I think you can get it for $1.50 a month, then you can open this up. And once you can open this up, well, you can start having a lot of fun. You can be what you always said you could be on Twitter. You could be better than John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan at building the 49ers. The opportunities are limitless. In fact, I'm probably about to add a new one to this sheet because Lamar Jackson can now negotiate with other teams. Lamar Jackson has been sent the non-exclusive franchise tag from the Baltimore Ravens, which means he's allowed to negotiate with other teams. But the Ravens can match any offer that he receives or signs, and then they can take 2 first-round picks in return for him. So still probably more likely that Jackson stays with the Ravens than leaves, but this certainly opens up the possibilities elsewhere in the NFL officially. No longer exclusively bound to the Ravens as far as negotiating. But anyway, here is our build the roster tool on The Athletic. This is what it's going to look like on the actual homepage. Then you could scroll down, build your own 2023 49ers. Can you assemble a sustainable 53-man roster? As you can see, there are about 10 people currently on this right now. If you want to check out the link, I'll put it in the chat section for everybody, and then I'll show you through how some of this is going to work. But again, this is the 3rd year that we've done this. This is in the description and now in the chat section as well. Go ahead and check out that link in the chat section. It's the 3rd year that we've done this. This season, I have added more possibilities than before. It has become, I think, the ultimate roster building tool that you could find online for the 49ers. I've gotten some good compliments, such as my boss yelled at me. This is a compliment from somebody. My boss yelled at me because I was no longer productive at work. Those are the kind of compliments that I like to hear. Hopefully this year's version of the roster builder drains even more of your productive work time. But as you can see here, the people are online here, so I don't want to disturb people that are copying and pasting this sheet. For example, why don't we disturb them? It'd be fun. Let's sign Javon Hargrave while these people are working on their sheet. All of a sudden the 49ers have negative cap space because Javon Hargrave cost $20 million. So you can see here, top left, 19.54 in salary cap room. Now to explain, this is built on a 53-man roster. I know only the top 51 count against the cap in the offseason, but this is built through the lens of getting ready for the actual season when 53 men count against the cap. So this is a pure in-season construction tool where you're looking to see what the numbers are going to have to be to have a good 53-man roster that is cap compliant. Down here, you could see the roster count. This is going to update automatically. So the version that I give you right now to start working on has 35 of 53 spots taken. The challenge for you is to fill out 53 of 53 spots while keeping this number, salary cap room, under or in the blue, under 237.5 million. So right now you're in the blue at 19.54 million. So for example, right now, as you can see, 35 of 53, 19.54. We'll go back to the Hargrave example. If I sign Hargrave, all of a sudden that costs 20 million. You're in the red, minus 0.46, and now you have 36 out of 53 roster spots taken. But as you can see, just signing Hargrave and not doing anything else is not going to work for the 49ers. Thankfully, there are a lot of other options on this roster sheet. So the way to do this so we don't disturb the other people who are trying to work on their rosters is to go File. We're going to make a copy. We're going to make a copy of 49ers Build Your Roster, and it's going to open up in its own sheet where nobody else is working on it. Now that you've made your copy, you're going to be able to work on the roster, and we're going to be able to make a cap compliant one. So first option here with Trey Lance, we can trade Trey Lance, but as you can see, it'd be more expensive to trade Trey Lance than it would be to keep him. But if we do trade him, then it tells us what to do right here. It's 11.1 million cap hit to trade him as opposed to 9.3 million to keep him. Check the box if you trade him, because if you check the box, we open up a roster spot. Okay, I'm not going to trade Trey Lance. I don't think that's good team building strategy. So I'm going to keep Trey where he was, but I need to sign another quarterback. Who's it going to be? Dalton, 6 million. That's decently pricey. You know, I think that Brock Purdy is going to be ready sooner rather than later. By the way, Garoppolo, 19 million. Ooh, that's too expensive. We can bring Tom Brady out of retirement. I'm going to add Lamar Jackson to this, by the way. I just talked about Lamar Jackson. We can add him there. The problem is that the 49ers, I don't know what they would have to offer in that situation. And Lamar Jackson, you talk about quarterback injuries. He hasn't finished the last 2 seasons particularly healthy. How about Marcus Mariota? 3.5 million. All right, that sounds good. We signed Mariota. He's going to be a quarterback. All right, moving down. Running back room, I'm happy with it. I'm not going to sign anybody. Receiving room, Javon Jennings, exclusive rights free agent. He's already been tendered, so it's already preset with him in there. How about that tight end position? I think the 49ers need to use one of their draft picks, one of their higher ones. No. Let's go 5th round. Their first 5th round draft pick, because that's where Kittle went, we're going to use on the tight end. So they're going to have, this is a good tight end class. We'll see who it's going to be, but I think that's a position that you have to draft. Center, I say bring back Jake Brendel. Right tackle? Well, are you willing to go with Colton McKivitz here to the 49ers? I like Caleb McGarry. 15 million, though. That's a bit much. We're already over the cap. Okay, so since we're already over the cap, as you could see here, one more time. If I sign Caleb McGarry, $2 million over the cap. It's in the red up there. So let's fix that. Let's start restructuring players to make some room. Who can we restructure? Deebo Samuel? No, we can't. We could trade him, and that would just waste cap space, $28.4 million. Oh, my gosh. No, can't do that. Christian McCaffrey. Oh, yeah, we could restructure Christian McCaffrey. Great. Let's save $4 million in space. Okay. Now we have 17 million up there. How about trading Javon Kinlaw? We could save a little bit if we trade Kinlaw. I don't know if anybody's going to do it, but okay, I'm trading Kinlaw. I'm going to check the box. Let's extend Nick Bosa, because extending Nick Bosa will actually save some money. I have him that's saving $1 million. That's great. Oh, let's restructure Fred Warner. Save. Okay, good. So now we have $28.5 million in room. We extended Bosa. We could still restructure Charvarius Ward, but now we're actually cooking with some gas. Now we could actually bring in some players, okay? So now, I re-signed Jake Brendel. I like that. I want to bring in Caleb McGarry, who's coming off a career year at right tackle. McGarry's in there. Probably going to have to add another offensive lineman. Colton McKivitz is a restricted free agent. Shouldn't be expensive to bring back. So 2nd round tender, restricted free agent, $4.3 million for McKivitz. How about, we definitely need to draft an offensive lineman. Why don't we use one of our 3rd round picks on that? Bringing back Zakel. That looks good. Maybe one more lineman after that, but that's solid. Okay. We have $8.3 million. And I do think that the 49ers need to bring in Justin Houston. Maybe a budget defensive lineman. There you go. Then you definitely need to use a draft pick on a defensive end, because the 49ers always do that. Let's use 102 on that one. Defensive tackle sounds like they're going to go in-house, so why don't we use a draft pick? Why don't we use a 6th rounder, because that's what DJ Jones was, a 6th rounder. We definitely need to use a draft pick on the defensive backfield to help replenish that. How about nickelback? Do you bring anybody in? Nah, I think you use the guys that are already on your roster for that nickelback position. Cornerback. Samuel Womack can play nickelback. I don't think you sign a corner either, but say that we bring in a cheap 7th round draft pick there. Safety, I think we need to use a good draft pick to have somebody in the pipeline. That's really the only position without anybody truly in the pipeline for the 49ers. So let's use 158 on a safety. Where are we at cap? Oh, boy, we're running out of cap room. 0.89. So it's getting crowded, and we have 45 of 53 spots taken. So yeah, with this, you can see just how tough this is going to be. I don't even have a kicker yet. Say that I draft a kicker with number 103 instead of re-signing Robbie Gould. All of a sudden, we're a little bit under the cap. So as you can see, obviously, some of the deals that the 49ers could do, they can be creative. They can be backloaded. They can be made so that there is room for that extra 0.09 million. And I'm sure that's what would happen if the 49ers were in this situation. But still, we have 7 more spots to fill. I guess we can restructure Charvarius Ward. That's going to save $8 million. So, last year the 49ers had to restructure to do business. So if we restructure Charvarius Ward, there we go, $8.32 million. And I think now we have enough money with our draft picks to fill out the rest of this 49ers class. Anyway, that's the roster builder. You could do a bunch of cool stuff. This is just my version. I'm going to come out with my finalized team in a couple days. I'm going to go through this. Hopefully you get nice and addicted to this. That is the goal for everybody. So just go through the roster builder, have fun with it. This is the main page. Again, go to the Athletic. This is where you get it. This is the link. I'm going to copy and paste the link. It's in the chat section up higher. Now it's going to be a little bit lower. And it's also in the description. So there you go. Check this out. Get signed up for the Athletic. I think it's $1.50 a month, but really, is there a better use of $1.50 than a way to waste time at work by building the 49ers roster? You could do better than Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. I am sure that you can. All right, so everybody check that sucker out. I'm bringing the camera back up here. It's been fun. I'm going to go talk some Lamar Jackson now. I'm going to get some stuff together. I'm going to build my own roster. I'm going to waste some time with this. So everybody, thanks for joining. Sub to the Athletic, build your rosters. And then what you need to do once this is finished right here, you need to take a screenshot of this and then you need to tweet it at me at Lombardi himself. So why don't I put that into the banner section? Tweet finished roster at Lombardi himself. Right here. So when you're done, tweet the finished roster at Lombardi himself. And then I'm going to take the best rosters and I'm going to put them up here on the channel. All right. I think that's a good plan. I'll take the best rosters. I'll put them up here on the channel and we'll highlight some of you guys who built the best teams. As you can see, it will not be easy, but it will be worth it. All right, everybody get to work. Thanks again. We will see you very soon.